So, welcome everyone to the Student Union Society election debate of 2024. My name is Claire Cook, Electoral Officer, MC, and moderator for today's event. Before we go any further, I'd like to acknowledge that UFV Student Union Society is located on the ancestral homelands of the Halkomelem speaking Stalo Nation, and to extend our appreciation for the opportunity to live, work, and learn on this territory. For those who may not know who we are the University of the Fraser Valley Student Union Society. We are home to a variety of great programs, services, student advocacy, events, and opportunities to volunteer and find on-campus employment. Some of the things you may know us for are the UPass, Campus Shuttle, Health and Dental, clubs and associations, fairgrounds, the Sub Lounge, and the many events we do like Kickback and more. SUS was officially registered as a BC nonprofit society in 1995, but has been at UFV since the 1980s. We were created by members of the student body to represent student concerns and their needs to the university and to the municipal, provincial, and federal government. The Student Union Society is a nonprofit organization, and SUS is able to offer a variety of programs and services to its members and advocate for post-secondary education on their behalf and provide you with this on campus. Before we begin with our candidates, we have some ground rules to cover before we can proceed. Number one is that all UFV Student Union Society policies, bylaws, and rules apply. Failure to adhere will result in a warning and possibly the removal from the debate and election. As well, any candidates and those in attendance cannot interrupt whomever is speaking at any moment. This is a debate of candidates and is not an open debate. Therefore, we will not have questions from the audience. We'd like to firmly inform you that only respectful behavior will be acceptable. No booing, jarring, negative noises, or sounds will be tolerated. This is an intense process for everyone involved, so let's do our best to support the candidates in a positive environment. Clapping is allowed. So the way it's going to work today is the candidates will be separated by position into groups. We have our vice president internal candidates up first. Each executive candidate in a group will be given 2 questions to answer. They have 2 minutes per question to answer. Their opponents are allowed to then answer this question as well with a 1-minute response after the candidate is finished speaking. Please respect candidates when I say when you are able to speak and when you are needing to stop speaking. Candidates will be given a 10-second warning when their time is almost done. Candidates may also, once more, further respond to their opponent's response, and then responses must end there. For our student representative positions, please note that the process will be the same, except they will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer the question. Up to 2 of their opponents are allowed to answer this question with a 1-minute response, and they will only be posed 1 question each. We have candidates today who wish to obtain a seat within our executive team, consisting of the positions of president, vice president external, vice president of students, vice president internal, and student representatives at large. Now that I've spoken about the ground rules and how today is going to look, we are going to begin with our vice president internal candidates. I would like them to introduce themselves by name, program major or minor, the position they are running for, and why they wish to run for this position. I will start with the person on my right.
Hi, my name is Armand Gill. I'm a second-year student, political science major, history minor. I'm running for VPI, and the reason why I'm doing so is when I first came to UFV, like about 2 years ago, I got involved in the PSSA, the Political Science Students Association. A lot of the members of that group are here today, former and current. Me being a part of that group definitely changed my life. It was where I met my partner, where I met a lot of my close friends. It was what stopped me from feeling alienated on campus. I understand that clubs and associations are vital to students. They're vital to me, and they're vital to everyone on this campus. I think that my job as VPI is going to be helping to bolster clubs and associations, making sure that we can promote them and making sure that we can foster a positive community at UFV. When clubs and associations aren't and forefront concern, it leads to students feeling alienated on campus. They come to class, they leave, that's it. You don't sort of get that energy on campus. You don't really experience what it's like to be at UFV. You just come to class and leave. I think that clubs and associations are so vital, and I think that my job as VPI, first and foremost, is going to make sure that clubs and associations are the main concern of SUS and making sure that everyone on campus is able to be involved in one, making sure that they can make friends and make new life experiences.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Teerth and I'm running for the position of VPI. I'm in my third year right now and I'm focusing on the fields of sales and operations at the same time. I am running for this position because I feel that I have worked a lot in the management in the past years and I have been the part of many startups. Along with the same time, I have also managed a lot of events. I have that background. I have that experience to handle the back end of an organization. The existing great rules, policies that SUS has for the students are really good right now. But I want to bring a new experience, a new background to those policies, something that I have experienced, something that my friends experience on a regular basis as an international student. I want to club those with the existing policies and make sure that I come up with something new. And I'll try to help as many new students as possible.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Harmanjot Singh and I am currently enrolled into business administration. I am running for the student vice president internal, and why I am running for an executive position is because over the past few months I've grown so much and I just want to push myself to see how far I can go. And as for why internal, I've always been fascinated how the organizations work within, and I feel like the vice president internal would be a good opportunity to seek that interest. Thank you.
Thank you. So this first question is for Arman. This is an operational and organization-intensive position with significant time spent working with processes, policies, documents, spreadsheets, and other internal duties. It's not so much about experience, but about having a competent appetite for wanting to do these things with attention to detail. How do your skills and interests fit in with this? Your 2 minutes start now.
First and foremost, if you guys do not know, I was a student representative at large the previous year. I think that definitely gave me the experience to understand what happens at SUS, the inner ongoings, and it allowed me to understand how important SUS is to students and making sure that you take that job very seriously, making sure that you have integrity when you fulfill your duties, and making sure that you put your job first and foremost, hence putting students first and foremost. Me being a student representative at large definitely has helped me understand what it would be, the jobs of the VPI. But not just that, I'm actually a Political Science Student Association executive, specifically a treasurer. The reason why that's important is because I have learned how to use QPay, which is very vital to the inner ongoings of clubs and how we deal with clubs. QPay, for anyone that is a part of a club, knows they understand how important it is to understand what QPay is and how to use it. I know how to use QPay. I've made fund requests and I've dealt with fund requests as a treasurer. And as a student representative at large, I've also been able to advance my understandings of what it's like to deal with student associations. Again, I'm running a platform of helping students and helping clubs and associations first and foremost. I think that me being a PSSA executive and me being a student representative at large has gave me the tools I need to fulfill my duties and to make sure that I can make UFV great.
Thank you. Teerth and Harmanjot, do you have anything to add?
I would not like to add anything.
Thank you.
Me too.
No. The next question goes to Teerth. This is the same question. This is an operational and organization-intensive position with significant time spent working with processes, policies, documents, spreadsheets, and other internal duties. It's not so much about experience, but about having a competent appetite for wanting to do these things with attention to detail. How do your skills and interests fit in with this? Your 2 minutes start now.
So as I just mentioned that I'm currently enrolled in business administration and I'm focusing on the field of operations specifically. Managing the operations of the company practically is great, but at the same time, if you have that theoretical knowledge, that adds up to it to a lot. I know to use like I know Tally, I know Zoho Books, I know a lot of softwares that the company have been using. I myself have been using these softwares like from past 3 years now in the companies that I've been the part of. And I feel that managing the back end of the company is like the best thing that I have done. And I am doing those right now also. Like I am enrolled with an organization at UFV only, SASI, and I'm again managing their back end of the operations. Whatever they are focusing on, I'm at the back end right now. So I think I bring a great experience that I have, and along with the theoretical knowledge, obviously that I'm gaining every day through the courses, that can really help me to be a better candidate and use my existing knowledge to make sure that the back end is handled properly, and I'm able to manage all the internal operations of SAS. Thank you.
Thank you. Arman and Harmanjot, do you have anything to add?
I would not like to add anything.
Thank you.
Just one quick thing. I think
Your
that
1 minute starts now.
this is gonna be really quick, but I think that having experience in business is very different to knowing what happens within SAS. SAS is not all just about business. It's about fostering a sense of community and family as well. I think that when you look at it just from that sort of mindset, it's just a business, you lose sort of the humanity within SAS. It's a very vital part of it and it brings a lot to the table. But I think that SAS is much more than that. It's about people at the end of the day. And people aren't just a business. It's gonna sound very corny, but it's a family. It's friends.
Thank you. This next question, the last of the same questions, will be for Harmanjot. This is an operational and organization intensive position with significant time spent working with processes, policies, documents, spreadsheets, and other internal duties. It's not so much about experience, but about having a competent appetite for wanting to do these things with attention to detail. How do your skills and interests fit in with this? Your 2 minutes start now.
As I previously mentioned that I've been ever since I've been in Canada, I've grown so much and I always has this constant need to grow and develop more. And that's why I want to run for the vice president internal. And like I mentioned before that I'm always fascinated how the organizations work within, and the internal would be a good opportunity to explore that interest alone. And as I'm currently enrolled into business and I have a shit ton of, I have a lot of experience in accounting and business management. And I feel like I could put that to a good use. And with the connections of students I have on campus, I could really use their ideas. For example, I was talking to this one person the other day and they brought up a few ideas, which I think are really good as one thing that I feel like the SAS lacks is events which help student participate in them. Is always the SAS performing, but never the student performing and having to express themselves. And I feel like that can be a good area to look into. Thank you.
Thank you. Arman and Tirt, do you have anything to add?
My platform is about
Your 1
actualizing.
minute starts now.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Sorry. I run a platform of actualizing the belief that students feel alienated on campus. I think alienation is one of the biggest issues at UFV. I think, again, coming back to my original point, I grew up here. I went to high school here. A lot of the people I went to high school with come to school, and nearly every single one, they're not in any sort of club or association. They don't really know what SAS is. Come to class, leave. That's it. And I think that that's one of the biggest issues at UFV. And the way I'm going to actualize solving that issue is by making sure clubs and associations are at the forefront of all of SAS's operations and making sure that we can create sort of a stronger bond with clubs and associations. And I think that my previous history of working with the PSSA definitely does help me with that.
Thank you.
I would like to add something to that.
Yes, you may. Your 1 minute starts now.
The thing is, the proposal that Arman's proposing sounds more suited for vice president student instead of vice president internal. Internal is the treasurer of the SUS, and they have to manage all the policies and have to be and carefully put attention to detail. I know student engagement is important. However, all the process that's like helping the business, helping the SUS stay online should be prioritized.
Thank you. Teert, did you have anything to respond to Harmanjot's initial question?
He did that.
Okay. The next question goes again to Harmanjot. In your candidate statement, you mention driving student engagement and understanding priorities relating to financial matters. How do you envisage implementing this within the scope of your role as Vice President Internal? Your 2 minutes start now.
I wanna streamline a lot of operations with considering the student engagement. There has been a past few events. They have been great. Like Kickback was awesome. However, I feel like it can be more efficient. And that's what I really want to prioritize, because I was talking with a few people after the Kickback and they were still not satisfied, and they brought up to me a few ideas which I feel like could be useful. A lot of operations on, I'm just taking Kickback as an example. A lot of operations on the Kickback could have been streamlined, and a lot of that money could have been spent on something better, or something that the students would have enjoyed more. And as for how am I gonna engage, how am I gonna increase the student engagement, is by talking with people, putting myself out there, because I'm really confident in the amount of following I have, and I'm always open to communication. And I believe that a lot of great ideas come when people brainstorm them together. That's how that is how I am going to increase the student engagement on the campus.
Thank you. Arman and Teert, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I don't.
Your 1 minute starts now.
My time as a treasurer has made it so that I understand that when it comes to streamlining a lot of these issues, first and foremost, you have to talk with students and you have to understand student concerns. I think that one of the first things we need to do is to make sure that clubs and associations understand what QPay is, and making sure that people are able to work within QPay. And I already have the training to use QPay. Another thing I want to add too is that when it comes to specifically for Vice President Internal, one of the most vital parts of it is working with QPay again and making sure that you understand how the inner workings of SUS are, and I do have experience with that.
Thank you. Teert, did you have anything to add to that?
Can I add something?
Yes, you may. Your 1 minute starts now.
The thing is, QPay is important, but I'm pretty confident in Julie. She manages the clubs and all, and I believe she does give proper information to all the clubs about the QPay. So I don't think that is a matter that the Vice President Internal should be focusing their concern on.
Thank you. The next question goes to Teert. In your candidate statement, you mentioned one of your goals is to streamline governance and administrative procedures to improve efficiency and effectiveness. Can you elaborate on what procedures you're referring to and how you plan to do this? Your 2 minutes start now.
Okay, so for this question, I'm going to exclusively focus on the international students. I'll say that the policies, procedures that the SUS is having right now, they are really good. They are really towards the benefits of the students, and students are benefiting from them. But honestly speaking, while I was back in India, I never knew what SUS was doing here. I was not aware about that. I want to make sure that every student who comes to university is like their main concern is not like, I know they are here to study, but they should know that they have someone here that is SUS. They have someone, a supporting body for them whenever they arrive at this campus. I've seen international students facing a lot of problems. They are having some problems, but they're not able to manage their studies and everything along with the work they are doing right now. So I'm going to make sure that the procedures and the policies that I have stated in my candidate statement are focused more towards that. I know SUS is focusing a lot on all the students together, but my main focus will be on the international students that I feel. And along with that, the experience that I already bring on the table, And I feel like, yeah, I can add to that. I know the problems. I discuss those problems every day with all the students I meet. So, yeah, I can add to that.
Thank you. Arman and Harmanjot, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I would like to add something. The thing is, I do appreciate him. I do appreciate prioritizing the international students. However, the domestic and international student prioritizing their needs should go in hand, not one over the other.
Thank you. Tiert, did you have any last word to say to that?
No, thank you.
Armand, did you have anything to respond to that initial question with?
Yep.
Your 1 minute starts now.
I think you've identified a very strong problem within UFV when it comes to alienation of international students, and I do 100% agree with you. But it comes back to the idea of how are we going to solve this issue and how are we going to actualize a solution. I think that actualizing the solution, first and foremost, is making sure that, again, adding on to what both of you guys said, I agree with both of you guys when you said that it's not just international students, it's domestic students. At the end of the day, that shouldn't even matter. We're all UFV students. I think that we all need to make sure that we go hand in hand. We make sure that we work together on solving this issue. If we lead to a sort of polarization between domestic and foreign students, I don't want to create that tension. I want to make sure that we're all one united body against these issues and not looking at it from two separate fronts.
Thank you. Tiert, did you have any last response to that at all?
No, I don't.
No. Thank you. The last question is for Armand. In your candidate statement, you reference some of the experience you have. How would this experience assist you with the fiduciary duties of the vice president internal role?
Can I
Your
start?
2 minutes start now.
I'll start off with my time as a student representative, first and foremost, because I feel like that definitely has helped me more. I think that being a student rep has allowed me to understand the inner workings of SUS when it comes to things such as dealing with any issues with clubs and associations and making sure that any sort of budget or any sort of financial concerns are brought up and that we address them. I think that SUS is doing a very good job at addressing a lot of these issues. Obviously, we can always do better, but I think right now they're doing great. I think that being a student rep has allowed me to look at more of the financial side along with the human side of what it's like to working within SUS. I think that my time at the PSSA is much more on the financial side because I did work as a treasurer, so I definitely did have to focus more on finances. But at the same time, as a PSSA executive, I also did manage a lot of and help with a lot of activities such as we had trivia night, we had a lot of meetings, and we had a lot of engagement opportunities with students.
Thank you. Tiert and Harmanjot, do you have anything to add to that? Your 1 minute starts now.
Oh, I would not like to add anything.
Oh, thank you. Did you have anything? No? All right. That is all for our vice president internal candidates then. We will have next to the stage, once I call you, our vice president student candidates. So vice president internal candidates, you're welcome to have a seat over on the side. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. We now have our vice president of students candidates. I would like them each to briefly introduce themselves.
So, hello everyone, I am Arman Ansari, and I am the third year business administration student here at UFV. So, I am running for vice president student, and the reason why I am running for this position is because when we were in high school, we all had a dream, like when we go to university, we'll enjoy, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll make new friends. So this is the thing I am really passionate about in creating student engagement and organizing events. So this is.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Bilal. And I'm a third year business administration student, and I have a minor that is professional sales, and I'm not doing a major right now. And I'd like to say that why I'm running for the VPS position, that is vice president students. And the reason that I am running for this position is that I believe that the university life that we have, be it for a domestic student or be it for an international student, it adds on to a lot of things. The engagement, the inclusivity that we have on the campus, it affects a lot of things. It affects our academics. It affects our connections with the people on campus. And I am here to give that experience to the students. And it's not the experience that I envision for them. It's the experience that the students envision for themselves. And I am there to support them. It's their vision and it's my actions that I'd like to support and like give out to the students out there on the campus. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name's Angelina Joseph. I also go by Angie. I am currently majoring in criminal justice, and I am running for the VPS position. I'm running for this position because I have been involved as the GSA with UF International. I have been leading 2 clubs, the CGSA and have started UFE's Fusion Dance Club. Having closely encountering students and their needs, listening to them firsthand, I realized that this university experience can be much better. This is not just about coming and studying and doing your thing. This is about making the university experience yours. This is about you. This is about us. And truly implementing and enhancing and carrying forward the values of diversity, inclusivity, community, because that's what makes us us. So let's go.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introductions. I did just want to remind our 3 candidates that are up that the first 3 questions I'll be asking will be the same for all of you. You will all be prompted to respond if you wish, but you will all be getting the same first question. So we will begin with Arman. What does listening to the student voice look like to you? Your 2 minutes start now.
So listening to student voice means like listening to their problems that they are currently facing. As an international student, I see a lot of my peers, they are struggling to find like jobs, like they are also struggling in like, I see, because like when they are new, it's a Canadian education system is entirely different to like what they used to have like when they were in their own country. So this is a thing I also want to like focus on, like how I can help them and what problem they are actually facing. So, yep.
Thank you. Bilal and Angelina, do you have anything to respond with?
I do not, thank you.
No, I don't.
Thank you. The next question, the same one, goes to you, Bilal. What does listening to the student voice look like to you? Your 2 minutes start now.
Okay, so listening to the students is, I feel, from my perspective, it's one of the most important things. And like if I introduce myself and like if I have to tell somebody about my skill set, then I would put the listening skills of mine on the very top, because I have had an experience like as an HR associate in a startup that I was a part of. And HR is all about listening and making your employees feel worth where they are. So I feel it's the same at the university. You have to make the students feel at home. It's not just for the international students or for the domestic students. It's for a UFE student. They have to be here. They have to feel inclusive. They have to feel that, okay, this is our campus and this is what we are paying for. This is what we deserve, because they are like every student has a story of their own. They have a list of struggles that they have done. So I feel that if I am listening to them, and it's not just about the problems, even if they feel that something is doing really sus, or anybody is doing something really good, that's also listening. And to listening just to any perspective that they have, any ideas that they have, any concerns that they have, and not just listening to them, but making them feel valued about their perspective and opinion. That is what listening means to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Arman or Angelina, do you have anything to respond with?
I do not, thank you.
Thank you. The last question, the same one, will go to Angelina. What does listening to the student voice look like to you? Your 2 minutes start now.
Like I mentioned before, I was GSA with UF International. I'm currently leading 2 clubs. Giving this, I have had the first-hand experience of truly listening to students, interacting with them firsthand, and truly understanding what they want, what they need. And listening to me kind of translates to service leadership, where I believe that the students make and say what they want, and we make that happen for them in the position that we're in. This position gives us the power to do so much, and realizing that the student body is not just about it being a international or bridging the gap between the international and domestic student body, and creating an atmosphere where students truly feel welcome, where students truly feel like they belong, and this is their family, this is their home away from home, and realizing that this is their university experience and truly making it about that. That's what I think listening to student voices is. Thank you.
Thank you. Arman or Bilal, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I do not.
No, I don't.
Thank you. The next question will go again to Angelina. In your candidate statement, you mentioned you will continue to strive for the student support, engagement, and smiles. What are some of the specific plans you have for student engagement? Your 2 minutes start now.
For my plan for student engagement, I'd like to enhance and ensure that students have a safer campus. And I'd like to do that by ensuring that the campus is a place where students are not just physically safe, but mentally, and therefore having students be able to access or have the mental wellness and health be accessible to students, make it more prominent, make it more aware, because as students, we all go through chaotic times. Our university life is, with the education system upgrading, we have a lot that we go through on a daily basis with panics and breakdowns. And mental health is something that should be accessible to everybody, shouldn't be something that is the students should be ashamed of asking for or looking for. Secondly, I'd like to make this campus more accessible. As much as we've got students who we've got like-minded students in a way. I don't want to, downgrade anybody, but we've also got students who need accessibility services. They might be differently abled. They might have learning disabilities, and truly make that accessible for students in the sense that there shouldn't be any sort of holdback or hesitation for students looking forward or looking for that particular service. And create a culture where students feel that the accountability aspect of their actions and their behaviors will be accounted for, a culture that is accounted for, in the sense that create a campus where students generally feel safe about themselves, about their identities, and about who they are. We come from different
10
backgrounds.
second warning.
We come from different backgrounds, and I would like to ensure that that is kept at the university. Thank you.
Thank you. Arman or Bilal, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I do not.
Yeah, I do.
Your 1 minute starts now.
So, as I've mentioned in my candidate statement as well, I've been a part of SAS from the past 6 months, and I'm serving the role of the assistant vice president for this term. And believe me, if I was not part of this role, I wouldn't have been aware of what all resources we have on this campus. Just by being involved with SAS, I know that there are numerous things and numerous resources for the students that could help them with n number of things. It could be for their mental health, it could be with their academic help that they need, or any other thing. I have a vision that I would want to collaborate with more UFE departments and bring those resources to the students, because there's one concept in business that we teach. It's not the product that needs, it's not the customers that come to the product, it's the product that needs to go to the customers. So it's the same case over here. It's the resources
10
that
second
needs to
warning.
go to the students. And I have a vision to get those resources out there for the students.
Thank you. Angelina, did you have anything to add to that?
I do not. Thank you.
This next question is for Bilal. In your candidate statement, you mentioned that you believe in the power of meaningful connections and the impact that they can have on both personal and professional growth. In your opinion, how are meaningful connections formed, and how would they contribute to this position? Your 2 minutes start now.
I would say that meaningful connections for me is like any connection could be meaningful for me. It's not that I go with a narrow mind when I'm meeting someone. It's that I need to find what could be meaningful when I'm talking to one person. And I feel that since my time here in Canada and since my time here at UFE, the only thing that has helped me till now are the connections. If you don't know people around you, you won't feel welcome over here. You won't feel that sense of belongingness to the place. And if you don't feel that, you don't have that drive to work on yourself, progress more on your academics or on your career. And I feel that when we talk about like talking to people and like making more connections, vice president students, that position is a great opportunity for me to bring more connections to the people, just interacting with the students, just making more people aware that, okay, now you can come over here and this is a safe place to talk about. I have a vision in my mind that if I get elected for this position, I would like to hold a monthly meeting with like just, it could be like games with like VPS or like with the whole executive team, just like coffee with the execs that we have right now as well, just so that we can like make everybody feel welcome and not like say that you have to take an appointment to meet us. I believe that I need to be accessible to all the people so that they know that there's someone that can hear their voices on the campus.
Thank you. Arman or Angelina, do you have anything to add on to that?
No, I'm not.
I do not, thank you.
Thank you. Arman, this last question is for you. In your candidate statement, you mentioned one of your plans to be to foster a sense of community and belonging among students. What does this look like to you? And what do you plan to do to achieve this? Your 2 minutes start now.
So when I use the word foster a sense of community, it means that I mean that everyone is like. We are a student of university, so we should like there should be unity between like our student that we are one, we are single entity. And that is something which I mean by like sense of community. That's it. Right.
Thank you. Bilal and Angelina, do you have anything to add to that?
I do not, thank you.
I do. So
Yes, your 1 minute starts now.
yeah, I feel that in UFE, I've seen a lot of communities. And the best part about UFE is it's so diverse. It's not just you have people from one community, you have people from all around the world. And that I take that as an opportunity for us just to like bring all the students together and just to like talk to them, make them feel welcome. And I think SAS has that power to play that role in every student's life over here that are there at like in UFE, and just to build that community with them and take them out of their community and make a one bigger community that is for like that is out there for everyone. And yeah, I would like to do that if I get elected for my role. Thank you.
Am I allowed to add something to that?
Yes, I'll just give Arman one opportunity if he wishes to respond to Bilal. Do you wish to?
No, I don't.
No, then Angelina, you may.
Right, thank you. I just wanted to say that the university is it's not just about departments there is a sense of that we feel that we're kind of pressed down by, the department as a whole or the university as a whole. And I feel like that's where the support from students to students, we support each other, we carry each other forward, we lift each other up. And creating a campus that genuinely embodies that echoes and amplifies that would be across, not just on the Abbotsford campus. We have the Chilliwack, the Mission, the Hope, and not forgetting the international campus in Chandigarh, and kind of bringing the entire thing together and amplifying students' needs and voices would be something that
10-second warning.
Thank you. Would be something that in our position we are able to do. And if I'm elected, I would like to carry that forward firsthand. Thank you.
Thank you. Arman, did you have anything to finish
No,
that
I
up
do
with? No? All right. With that is our Vice President of Students candidates. Coming up next, we will have our Vice President external candidates. When you see your name on the table, you're welcome to come up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a reminder to all candidates to speak directly into the microphone. We now have our Vice President external candidates on the stage, and I would like them to start off by quickly introducing themselves by name, program, major or minor, and why they wish to run for Vice President external. I'll start with the person to my right.
My name is Mohammad Afif Alam, and I'm a major in computing science, and this is my second semester here. As to why I wanted to run for the position of Vice President External is because as university students, we all have so many things bogging us down on a daily basis, whether it be our academic life or our social life or our work life. And I don't want policies made by uninformed policymakers to bog us down even further. So what I wish to do when I'm elected is take your voices, your aspirations, and your concerns to the policymakers and make them continuously, and I will be pressuring them from the head to the bottom until they are making the changes which are going to affect you guys directly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi friends, my name's Roxy Granikovis. I use she, they pronouns, and I've been at UFV since 2017, and I'm happy to say that I'm a fourth year student in the Bachelor of Arts program majoring in philosophy honors. The position I'm running for is the Vice President External position. And the reason why I'm running for this position is I'm very passionate about advocacy work. It's something that I've done a lot of during my time at UFV. I have worked for the Student Experience Office, the Campus Recreation Department, as well as the UFV Center for Philosophy for Children. And I'm on the executive teams for both UFV Pride Collective and the Student Philosophy Association of UFV. So I think with my experience in advocacy work that I would be a good candidate for this position. And I would like to help make things better for our entire student body at UFV.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Josiah Hansen. I'm a third-year political science major, and I'm also running for VPE. I'm running because I feel like the external position has the most room for growth, even though I think the work of the previous administration is awesome, but I think the ceiling is much higher than the other positions. I think I want to focus on representing the school well among high school students and among other universities, because I think this is a great school, and it doesn't get a great rap other places. Like, this is a great place to get a 4-year degree, a 2-year diploma, or use it as a launch pad to grad school. And I think people need to know that, because growing the campus base of the student body there's room to grow. There's a lot of room to grow, and I think that I can do it effectively. Thanks.
Candidates, before we get started, all of your first questions will be the same question. I will still prompt that you can respond to each other, but you will all be getting the same first question. Our first question goes to Mohammed. This position will require responsibility, governance, advocacy, and engagement. How will you make sure to represent SUS effectively? Your 2 minutes start now.
Going forward, what I have been doing since the past 2 weeks was reaching out to students on a personal basis, coming across what they think, what are the concerns that they are facing in their university life. And I have been noting all of that down. So when I get elected, my first job will be to also increase the student outreach program by going and doing the groundwork myself, also in collaboration with all the other people that are there. And with that, we will come to know what are the real concerns that the students face in their daily lives. And after coming to the conclusion and after determining what the problems and concerns are, we are going to go out there and get the job done by making sure that the changes take effect. Thank you.
Thank you. Roxy or Josiah, do you have anything to add to that?
I do not, thank you.
Thank you. This next question goes to Roxy. This position will require responsibility, governance, advocacy, and engagement. How will you make sure to represent SUS effectively? Your 2 minutes start now.
So I believe through all the work that I have been doing since my time at UFE that I will be able to represent SUS effectively through student advocacy. I've already engaged with a lot of students here on campus, and I'm very familiar with a lot of issues that are currently taking place, such as food insecurity, issues with policies with clubs and associations, campus not being necessarily the safest place for some folks. Also, issues that we have with our mental health resources. For example, students can only see a counselor once every 2 weeks. I know that that is a big issue for a lot of students, so that's something that I would like to address if elected as VPE. Thank you.
Thank you. Mohammed or Josiah, do you have anything to add to that?
I do not wish to.
Thank you. Josiah, this next question is for you. This position will require responsibility, governance, advocacy, and engagement. How will you make sure to represent SUS effectively? Your 2 minutes start now.
Thanks. I think we all know what the problems are that students face. Like, we're all students here. We all talk to other students. And there's been a lot of talk between the divide between domestic and international students and how we need to be a united student body. And that's great. But I think we also need to acknowledge that they do face different problems and we need different solutions. Domestic students have problems with transportation and getting to campus, and international students struggle with housing and food insecurity, and especially with this new job hours cap on international students. There's different problems. But I think we can approach these. We don't have to search for what to fix. We know what to fix, and I can go out and be your voice for it right away.
Thank you. Mohammed or Roxy, do you have anything to add to that?
I would like to add,
Your 1 minute starts now.
so what I believe is most of the students, when asked about what the problems they are facing are, they come up with they're not sure about what the problems are. So because they are pressed and in the moment of the heat, and we are not really able to make sure and determine what the problems they are facing are. So it really requires us to create an extensive outreach program to really determine the conclude and also make sure that what we are advocating for is truly something which is going to affect the students. Because usually what I see happening is that we go out there, we advocate, and the changes take place. But in the long run, it does not make any changes in the life of the students on a daily basis. So what I believe we should do is determine the causes and the problems and the concerns that students face on daily life and daily basis. And because of that, my outreach first and then advocate rule is going to be much better for this situation.
Thank you. Josiah, did you have anything that you wanted to respond to that with?
No.
No? Roxy, had you wished to respond to the initial question?
I would, please.
Okay, your 1 minute starts now.
Josiah, I just want to say I really liked what you had to say there. And I do think that we are one united student body at the end of the day. However, everyone does experience different struggles. And I really liked what you brought up about international and domestic students facing different issues. Something I'd like to highlight is the tuition fees for international students are about 4 to 5 times the rate of domestic students. So if elected as SUS VPE, that would also be something that I would like to look into to make better for folks and make UFV a more well-rounded campus for everyone with lower tuition fees.
Thank you, Josiah. Did you have anything to add to that?
That sounds good.
All right. Thank you. So now the next question will go again to Josiah. In your candidate statement, one of your priorities is to increase UFV's reputation. What other student priorities do you hope to advocate for? And how will you listen to the student voice to determine these priorities? Your 2 minutes start now.
Thanks. One of my other priorities is transparency between the executive and the student body. I feel like that's a good way to increase participation because not a lot of people actually know what the executive does on a day-to-day basis. I think there's been good steps taken recently of like videos that have shown what SUS does on a day-to-day basis, but just increasing that, keeping that going would be great. I also want to focus on Chilliwack representation because I'm from Chilliwack, and I feel like building up that campus, there's a lot of room to grow there. There's a lot of empty land. There's a lot of unused stuff. Get some housing going, get some shuttles going back and forth on a higher frequency. And I think the inter-campus engagement could be really vibrant.
Thank you. Mohammed or Roxy, do you have anything to add to that? No? Okay.
I do.
Oh, go right ahead. Your 1 minute starts now.
I also think it's really important to highlight the Chilliwack campus because we don't see as much happening on the Chilliwack campus as we do on the Abbotsford campus. And I am fully on board with you with more transportation, more events, more things for students going on Chilliwack campus. I think that's essential to that campus to kind of get away from that commuter campus name that we often see. I think Abbotsford has done a really great job of pushing away from that, but I think we could definitely see some more engagement on Chilliwack campus, and I would like to make that happen as well.
Thank you. Josiah, did you have anything to follow that up with? No. And Mohammed, you had nothing to respond to that initial question with?
I would just like to add that coming across the concerns for the past 2 weeks, I have also come to realize that one of the major concerns for students is the bus number 66, because as us students living in Abbotsford, Vancouver is just 30 minutes away, right, with car. But with a bus, it takes us, we have to pay every time we have to come and go. And most of the people have this, one of the biggest problems that they face is they don't want to pay for the bus number 66. And so I want to advocate for that and put that on our UPass as well. And that will be one of the advocacy campaigns that I'm looking forward.
Thank you. Josiah, did you wish to have a last word to that question?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
No? Right. The next question is for Roxy. In your candidate statement, you have outlined your intentions if elected Vice President External. Can you share more detail on how you will balance these with provincial and federal advocacy work? Your 2 minutes start now.
So some of the things that I want to do if elected as SUS VPE is I want more food options for both Abbotsford and Chilliwack campuses. Food insecurity is something that a lot of students on both campuses are faced with. So one of the ways that I would like to work towards that would be to expand on our breakfast program. And I'd love to bring that to the Chilliwack campus, as well as maybe look into offering lunch and dinner programs, especially dinner, because a lot of students are here late at night studying and they don't always have access to food that they need to fuel themselves for those studies. With clubs and associations, I would like to take a deeper look into the policies. I'd like to make things easier for folks to sign up their clubs and associations and to have their events on campus, as well as get funding easier. The QPay system has been a little bit tricky, as expressed by many student executives, and I would like to make that easier to navigate. And then I would like to make campus a safer space, specifically for 2S LGBTQIA+ students. We've seen like a lot of hate crimes or dead naming in the classroom, misgendering. So I would like to make that better for folks. I would also really like to advocate on behalf of a Pride Room. And I would like more mental health resources, as I mentioned previously. I would like counselors to be more specific, specialized in mental health, as well as sexual violence or trauma. I think that's something that'd be really pressing on campus. And I think federally, provincially, like these would all be things that I would bring up, given the right meetings or circumstances. And
10-second warning.
And I would just really like to advocate on behalf of all students at UFE for whatever it is they feel their needs are. These are just some issues I've heard about and that I'm personally passionate about.
Thank you. Mohammed or Josiah, do you have anything to add to that?
I would.
All right, your 1 minute starts now.
I would like to echo your part about sexual violence and trauma, because I heard a story recently about a student who have experienced sexual trauma, and they were referred to the anti-bullying process, which isn't great. I think that's a big problem, and if that is a problem on a larger level that we're not aware of, I think we need to seriously interrogate that and remedy it as fast as we can.
Thank you. Roxy, did you have anything to respond to that with?
I do not, thank you.
Mohammed, had you wished to respond to that initial question?
It's all good.
No? All right. Our next question will go to Mohammed. In your candidate statement, you mentioned that you bring not only a deep-seated commitment to our organization's mission, but also a vision for expanding our impact beyond our immediate community. Can you elaborate and share more about what the vision is that you have and any federal priorities that you are aware of? Your 2 minutes start now.
As the VPE for SUS, what I believe is we should be advocating on a much bigger level, like on the federal level, by being a proactive member of the CASA, the Canadian Alliance of Student Associations. Or also, because what I want to do is foster relationships with the businesses around, the local businesses or bigger businesses, which are going to later on provide opportunities for our students to get more jobs, to earn our incomes, and also to increase the standing of our university. Because as we increase our relationships with all these businesses and have our name become better in the social standings of universities overall, we are going to receive better fundings, we are going to receive more students from other countries, and also all this is going to internally affect our university working, because we'll be able to afford more better teachers, we'll be able to bring in highly qualified Harvard professors or someplace like some other things, right? So what I believe is we'll start off by fostering relationships within our local communities in the beginning, local businesses, and then later on go intercity. And as our VPE right now and our president, you all guys have been doing a really good job fostering that relationship. And I just want to pick up the baton and carry it forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Roxy or Josiah, do you have anything to add to that?
I do not, thank you.
No? All right. These are our vice president external candidates, and we will be switching next to our presidential candidates. Just a reminder to our candidates to do your best to speak directly into the microphone. These are our presidential candidates for the 2024 election. I would like them to quickly introduce themselves with their name, program major or minor, and the position they are running for, and why they wish to run for this position. I will start with the person to my right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaden Hovey. I am majoring in political science with a minor in history, and I'm running for the position of president. Over the past year, I have been the current vice president external, and as well for the last 6 months, I've been managing the executive governance, finances, and budgeting with the absence of a vice president internal. I feel that my experiences working with SUS has brought me closest to the responsibilities of the role as president, and I feel that I have the experience and the knowledge to accomplish my goals effectively. I have a passion for advocacy, and I am really excited to put forward my nomination for president and see the changes that we're all looking to see. Thanks.
Thank you.
My name is Lauren Onderwater. I am a fourth-year political science major with a minor in English. The position I'm running for is president, and I'm running for this position because I have experienced through my position as president of the Political Science Students Association, just some things with SUS that I think need to be changed. A lot of people have mentioned already the difficulty with running clubs and getting funding and getting club support. And I think that clubs are essential to campus, and it's really important that we work to make them a priority within the student union. I also am somebody who have experienced firsthand a lot of the trials of being a student that people are going through. I've experienced housing insecurity, economic insecurity, food insecurity, and I've had to use those resources that the university provides. And I believe that they should be shown more accessible to students. Also the resources within the community for students that are experiencing hard times, as many of us are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriela. I'm a second-year political science student. I'm running for the position of president. And the reason I want to be the president of SUS is, as your current vice president student, I was very engaged in the community we have here at UFE. I lived on campus. I go to the gym on campus. I play sports. I am everywhere, and I understand firsthand and I suffer firsthand the problems that we're facing. And I feel like with that experience and also being an international student, also have working with many different departments, I have the ability to address those concerns and make sure that we pull through with everything that we're promising. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we get started with our debate questions, I once again just want to remind all the candidates that you will be prompted to respond to each other's first questions, but the first question you all receive will be the same question. Our first question will go to Jaden. What is the biggest challenge facing students, and how do you plan to respond to this challenge? Your 2 minutes start now.
I see two big challenges that students are facing. In my time as VP External, I did a lot of research into affordability and the current price inflation that we're all seeing, and the fact that it has a disproportionate effect on students, especially in BC. When I met with the Premier, I got to speak with him directly about the cost of living and how it's affecting UFE students. And so a lot of my goals are targeted towards addressing affordability issues. Adding Route 66 to the UPass will have a direct impact on the cost of transportation for so many students. And expanding opt-out eligibility for UPass will mean more money in the pockets for students who can't benefit from the services of the UPass. Besides that, I would say the other big issue would be that of community and engagement on campus. That's why I really plan on bringing a lot of events that are designed to engage all students. And I want to revise CNA policies, clubs and associations policies, so that we can have the best clubs that we can on campus. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren or Gabriella, do you have anything to add to that?
No, thank you.
Okay. Our next question, the same question, will go to Lauren. What is the biggest challenge facing students, and how do you plan to respond to this challenge? Your 2 minutes start now.
So I would agree with Jaden about the two biggest challenges to students being a lack of community on campus and also affordability. And that's something that everybody else here has touched on as well. I think that for the lack of community, something that has contributed to that in the last year was that there was a complete overhaul of the clubs and associations system that SUS did. And I felt as a president that this was not executed in the smoothest way possible. I understand that when changes are made, it's difficult to do it in the best way, but for example, we were not informed about the new QPay and how it all worked until about less than a month before school started. So then clubs couldn't have, welcome back to campus events. And in most clubs that, like I talked to a lot of executives as being an executive, it took them about a month, 2 months to have their first events of the year. And this is really it's really crucial that clubs are able to, draw in students at the beginning of the year. And that was something that wasn't really able to happen. As far as affordability, I agree that the adding Route 66 to the UPass would be very effective. I also think as well, including Chilliwack in this, like Chilliwack has a busing system, and that is not included in the UPass, and Chilliwack's students therefore can't bus around Chilliwack. So I think that this would be something that's very important to be added to the UPass. And as far as, I think, expanding our breakfast options, there was mention making the campus food options more accessible. I think also changing the affordability. It's like $7 to buy a sandwich at the cafeteria. That's just not sustainable. So I think that would also be very important.
Thank you. Jaden or Gabriella, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I could.
Right. Your 1 minute to respond starts now.
So the current UPass contract does actually extend across the entire Fraser Valley, including Abbotsford and Chilliwack. I just wanted to put that out there. The other thing that I would say is that with the execution of clubs and associations, this first year of running clubs and associations has been a great opportunity for SUS to learn how the policies have affected clubs and associations. And that's why me being close to the current policies as president, I do plan on conducting a full policy review in consultation with students and current clubs to ensure that all CNA policies are meet club expectations and work with clubs to the best way possible.
Thank you. Lauren, did you wish to have the last word to that at all?
No.
No? All right. Gabriella, had you had anything to respond with?
Yes, please.
All right. Your 1 minute starts now.
So, working as VPS, one part of my portfolio was clubs and associations, and I believe that worked very hard with our program, with our clubs and associations coordinator to make sure that CNAs are very well taken care of. Of course, it was a transition period, and at the same time the CNAs were learning, we were also learning. And I believe we were very open to all the feedback that we have received, and we were looking very much into making changes in those policies. We had multiple welcoming events for CNAs, as well as training, as well as conversations, as well as meetings. So my plan is not only to continue to look into those policies and continue to improve as we're all learning together, but also to make sure that communication really runs smoothly. And I feel like as the president, knowing a lot about
10-second
also
warning.
the clubs and associations policies and knowing the community, I can definitely do that.
Thank you. Lauren, did you wish to respond to that at all?
Yes.
All right. Your 1 minute to respond to that starts now.
While I completely understand that it's a period of transition, I do think that there are certain things that shouldn't be missed. For example, my association held 2 events in the fall semester. I applied for the fund request, got it in on time, got it approved, event request approved. My association did not receive any of that funding for one event in October, one event in November until the last day of the fall semester. And I just personally, that it just doesn't make me feel very confident in the administration and their ability to move things forward. I'm a student, the other executives are students. I don't have cash lying around to spend and wait so long to get it back. So this would be a priority for me, that these important things would not be missed as president. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question will go to Gabriella, the last of the same questions. What is the biggest challenge facing students, and how do you plan to respond to this challenge? Your 2 minutes start now.
In the past, I think the biggest challenge with our community was the lack of engagement. Being only on campus for classes is not what makes your student experience. So I think as my year working in international department, as my year as working as VPS, I was really able to target that challenge and to make our campus way more engaged through events such as Holy, Cultural Market, so many things that I have done in this campus. Moreover, I do believe that food insecurity was a big issue that I targeted through the breakfast program and the food bank. However, this is still a very big pressing issue, and I do want to work more on that towards the future. However, in the present, I do believe that international membership, international admissions and international fees and problems surrounding international students are very ongoing, as we have new caps, as we have new laws going into that. So I do believe that those issues should be targeted right away, on top of all the other things that I did in my portfolio and in my candidate statement, such as what I mentioned, the food insecurity, engagement, and so much more. Thank you.
Thank you. Jaden and Lauren, do you have anything to add to that? No? All right. So the next question that we have will again go to Gabriella. In your candidate statement, in regards to the food bank and breakfast program, you mentioned that your goal is to make sure that students have sustainable access to these services. What would this look like to you, and how would you measure success? Your 2 minutes start now.
So I believe the food bank and the breakfast program is a great thing that we have here at UFV, and not a lot of students are aware of it, or not a lot of students really take advantage of it. So I think my first thing would be to make sure that this program is more out there and students are aware of it. Secondly, we already have the breakfast program running in both the TTC and the CEP campus that are in Chilliwack. So my plan is to increase the days that they are in there and make sure that those are with larger food options, as well as working with partnerships that we can definitely invest more in those programs. One of my ideas is also to add a warm breakfast day once a month to make sure that students not only have access to granola bars and fruit options that are definitely a great thing to grab on the go, but also to create an environment where we can target food insecurity and create engagement at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you. Jaden and Lauren, do you have anything to add to that? Yes? Okay. Your 1 minute starts now.
Thank you. So I noticed that there was very little effort put onto the food bank currently. And I think that in terms of addressing food insecurity, especially for low-income students or students who are facing issues with paying for the high cost of groceries, one of the most important programs that they have access to is the UFE SUS Food Bank. That's why in my platform, I am planning on investing all Fairgrounds proceeds to go into the food bank and into the breakfast program to support food security for students. Thank you.
Thank you. Gabriella, did you wish to have the last word to that?
I would just like to say that I agree the food bank needs to be better taken care of. That's why I also want to look into creating more partnerships to make sure that, of course, it will always be the UFE SUS food bank, but also to make sure that in the end, it's just the students that matter. Getting food to the students is what matters. So creating those partnerships will definitely be beneficial for all.
Thank you. Lauren, had you wished to respond to Gabriella's initial question?
Yes.
All right. Your 1 minute starts now.
I agree with both Jaden and Gabriella that the food bank is very important and that needs to be invested more into, and that's something that I would definitely prioritize. I also think that it's very important that, again, as I previously mentioned, that campus is more affordable, or campus food options are more affordable and accessible to students. The Korean barbecue place was just opened upstairs, and it's open from 11:30 to 2:30. That is not very accessible. I don't know about you. I'm on campus from 11:30 to 2:30, but I'm also on campus at 4:30 and at 5:30 and 6:30, and there's not always the best options available. And again, just to mention that the cafeteria food options are very expensive. Yes, like the food bank is important, but we're all students.
10-second warning.
We all, are trying to save money. Even if we don't fall into that category of food insecurity, it should still, not cost me $8 to get a sandwich. It's just something that I would prioritize.
Thank you. Gabriella, how do you wish to have the last word to that?
Yes, please.
All right, your 1 minute starts now.
I agree that having more hours of food options is definitely essential. We do have Fairgrounds that goes into 6 p.m. However, increasing the hours of the cafeteria, such as well as our food truck options, will definitely be something that I will 100% be targeting. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question will go to Lauren. In your candidate statement, you mentioned that through your experiences with SUS, you have seen firsthand the shortcomings of the organization and would like to make some necessary changes. What are some of these changes, and how do you plan to implement them within the organizational structure of SUS? Your 2 minutes start now.
Thank you. One of the biggest changes that I would make is more of a sort of connection and collaboration with the Student Union Society and clubs and associations. Again, this is not a sentiment that I alone express. I have spoken to a lot of club association executives as being the president of Political Science Student Association, and we all had difficulty transitioning to QPay. I have a friend that was trying to start a club, and it took way longer than it should have because of all these hurdles and obstacles. So that is definitely something that I prioritize. And also the student union working alongside clubs, helping them with their events. Maybe if they have an event that they think a club can be involved in, or, falls into sort of the jurisdiction, for lack of a better word, of that club, working with them. I also think that transparency is very important. The new SUS executive account is great to let us know what clubs are doing, but one of the candidates, I'm so sorry, I forget your name, says that he works as an assistant to the vice president. I didn't know that. I don't know who he is. that's not something that was posted about, just about who's working for SUS, who's not working for SUS. I think that's very important.
Thank you. Jaden or Gabriella, do you wish to respond to that? All right, Gabriella, your 1 minute starts now.
So his name is Bilal. He is our assistant vice president, and he has done a lot of work for our community. We have introduced him in our social media. However, it's a personal choice to appear there or not. Moreover, with clubs and associations, I have hosted many events with clubs and associations, and I invest in them to thrive. An example of it is the cultural market that I hosted, where we had over 12 cultures represented, and clubs such as the Filipino Club, the Islamic Relief Group were very active and part of it. So I'm always here to make sure that the students thrive in the part that they feel more comfortable with and how they feel safe with. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren, did you wish to respond to that?
No.
All right. Jaden, how do you wish to respond to the initial question?
Yeah, all I would say is that this past year has been an excellent learning opportunity for us to see which policies do and do not work for clubs and associations. I would definitely say that reviewing the clubs and associations policies is incredibly important, and that's why in my platform, I am planning on conducting a full policy review in association with current clubs and students to make sure that policies are working for the best of clubs and streamlining all approval processes.
Thank you. Lauren, did you wish to respond to that at all? No. No? All right. So the last question now goes to Jaden. In your candidate statement, you have goals related to UPass, events, clubs and associations, food-focused initiatives, and advocacy. How will you implement these goals? Your 2 minutes start now.
Thank you. So what sets my platform apart from my opponents is that it's built on quantifiable and actionable goals. So for the UPass, I plan on leading the renegotiation of the contract to include Route 66 and to expand eligibility options for students who can't benefit from its services. In terms of clubs and associations, I want to raise the yearly maximum from $1,000 to $1,500 per club per year, and the yearly event maximum from $500 to $750 per event, so that we can see the best CNA events on campus. In addition to that, I do plan on conducting a full policy review in consultation with students and current clubs to make sure that all CNA policies are in line with what clubs need and to streamline all registration, event, and funding approvals. For events, I want to really increase engagement on campus with students by bringing bigger events that aim to increase engagement with all students. I want to bring more events out to Chilliwack, including a student priority survey for Chilliwack. And I want to continue our current ongoing partnership with the Abbotsford Canucks to make sure that we can get discounted tickets for students to go to Canucks games. In terms of food programming, I want to add more affordable food options to the Fairgrounds menu and reinvest all Fairgrounds proceeds into the food bank and the breakfast program. On top of that, in my platform, I do have regular free hot breakfast for students as part of the breakfast program. Finally, for advocacy, I do want to continue the work that I've done as Vice President External, particularly around affordability issues for all students, as well as addressing the current international student cap through continuing my ongoing consultations with UFV and with provincial and federal stakeholders to avoid any negative impacts that the cap may cause. So as president, I look forward to continuing my advocacy work. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren and Gabriella, do you have anything to add to that? Neither of you? Okay, thank you. So thank you very much to our presidential candidates for answering these questions. You're all finished for now, and we will be back with our student representative at large candidates. Just wait to come up until you see your name at the tables, and then you're welcome to come have a seat. Thank you.
Thank you.
We now have our student representative at large candidates. I'd like them all to introduce themselves with their name, program major or minor, and why they wish to be a student representative. I'll start with the person to my right.
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Durgesh Chitre.
I'll just interrupt you. Apologies. You're welcome to move the microphone to you.
Hi everyone, good morning. I am Durgesh Chitre. I'm undertaking the post-baccalaureate diploma at UFV in international business, and I am a new international student here on campus. This is my first year and first semester, and I'm running for the student representative at large position with SAS. And the only reason I'm applying for this is because as an international student, I've already, encountered some issues along my path towards achieving my goals in education. And basically, I've, personally been through issues with transportation, or if it comes to food and groceries, or if it comes to, the available facilities on campus when it comes to food as well. And transportation has been a very big thing for me because I do not live in Abbotsford. So traveling, commuting back and forth every day, I do lose a lot of time. It takes me about 4 hours in transit each day. And I'm just bummed out that it basically takes, the buses and all of that stop around evening. So I wish they would go on pretty much later hours into the night, because obviously I'm here as a student studying late on campus. And I was able to do that overseas, so I wish I was able to do that in Canada as well. And also, a lot of my peers have, gone through these same problems. So I'm hoping to, bring out their concerns to my fellow colleagues in SAS if I were to be elected and selected to be part of SAS, and bring it up with the governing bodies of UFV. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanvir Hundal and I'm a second year student in the Bachelor of Arts program. I'm majoring in political science and I'm running for the student representative at large position. So I have experience with campus recreation and wellness, as well as clubs and associations. So I would love to continue addressing ways we can promote a lively school community. And as well, externally, I'm a coach and an educator, so I think I have quite the skill set to advocate for your wants and needs through my experience.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nikayla Jacob. I am a fourth year psychology major. I have 2 minors in communications and organizational studies. I'm running for student representative at large, and my goal and the reason why I want to run for student representative at large is to enhance and continue the mission of SAS, which in my interpretation is to have an inclusive community and be a unified voice for all students. And I'd like to continue that and allow there to be an open door policy for all students to feel comfortable to bring any issues to us. Thank you.
Hey everyone, it's good to see everyone here today. My name is Chance Pajam. I am a third year Bachelor of Arts student, and I'm a political science major and crim minor. I'm running for student representative at large, and to be honest, I want to run for this position because I already had my last term. I had lots of fun representing student voices and just going around campus and talking to people, stuff that we can improve on the campus. And I want to continue to be that voice. I want to be someone who's approachable. I want to be casual about it, and I just want to bring it up to the higher echelons of SAS. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Daria. I am a second year business administration student and I'm running for student representative at large. And the reason is why I'm running is because throughout my time here, I've been very involved with our community and I got to meet so many awesome people and they voiced their ideas to me and their concerns. And I made it my goal to turn those ideas and concerns into actual actions and see changes happen. And I've been doing that both through my volunteering experience and through work. And I've been GSA for UFV International, where I got to facilitate a lot of events and partner with SAS as well for events like Culture Market, those projects. So I also know how our different departments work, which I believe would help me to advocate for our students better because I know who to go to and how to approach them. And in addition, I am already representing UFV on the Leadership Committee of Healthy Minds, Healthy Campuses, which is a mental awareness organization where I also get to advocate for our student needs and see changes implemented in that very crucial area. So I would like to scale up my efforts, and I believe that I can do much more as a student representative and make your voices heard and make sure that everyone feels valued and gets to see the changes they want. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for introducing yourselves. Just a reminder before we get started, all of you will receive only one question each, and they will all be different questions. You will all have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer each question. And when prompted to respond to each person's question, only a maximum of 2 of you may respond to each person. Our first question will go to Durgesh. In your candidate statement, you mentioned looking forward to incorporating both your medical knowledge and skills together with the ones you developed in your business study. How would you use this knowledge and these skills in the position of student representative at large? Your 1 minute and 30 seconds starts now.
So that's right. I've got a background in medical engineering from Australia. And so what I'd like to do is incorporate my knowledge with healthcare along with the ones I am developing right now with business. And what I mean by that is I just want to make it easy for people to approach me with their concerns. The good, the bad, the ugly. I would like to hear everything. And I've been told by people that I'm very personable and they feel comfortable talking to me about anything. So I want to use that and facilitate a safe, environment for them, and as well as bring that issues up with the governing bodies at UFE. So with my medical experience working in hospitals and clinics, I've learned a lot about empathy and, being compassionate and sympathizing with people in the process, and basically just learning to listen to them one-to-one on a very human way possible, on a personal note, I guess. And I would like to use that as one of my strengths to be able to bring that up with SAS at our discussions as well as with the governing bodies. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any 2 other candidates have anything they would like to add to that? No? All right. The next question goes to Tanvir. In your candidate statement, you mentioned that through your involvement on campus, combined with your community engagement, you have the perfect experiences and skill set to advocate for people's wants and needs. How will you identify these wants and needs? Your 1 minute and 30 seconds starts now.
So with my involvement on campus through different roles, the main thing is really just getting out there and speaking to individuals. So I think with getting involved, I have gotten to know quite a few of individuals' concerns and things that they would like to address. So I would really love to bring this up, but one of the most important things is collaboration. So as a coach, I promote collaboration with a team. As an educator, I am promoting collaboration and communication with my students and making sure that their wants and needs are addressed. So the most important thing is really collaborating with the fellow student representatives at large. And since I have experience doing that in my roles, I think I will really be able to address everyone's concerns.
Thank you. Do any 2 other candidates have anything they would like to add to that?
I do.
All right, your 1 minute starts
I
now.
want to say that I really emphasize with the point that connecting with students is a crucial part, and that's really a big point for me as well. And I feel like I have experience with that because throughout my life, I've done a lot of different things. I have a very diverse experience. I've been in science, I've been in robotics for 4 years. I led a team in that. So aside from this general communication or business skills, I also have my experience in diverse backgrounds. And I feel like that really helps me empathize with students from different programs, because even though I'm not studying the same things, I've done something similar before, and I can find those points of connection to understand them better. And therefore, I believe that helps me advocate for them better and brings their voices to the table. Thank you.
Thank you. Tanvir, had you wish to respond to that?
Yes, I would.
All right, your 1 minute starts now.
So although I did not highlight this previously, my experience also is quite broad. So I have worked senior homes, I have worked in high schools, I have worked with elementary school kids, as well as university students, right? So I would like to say I've had the opportunity to speak with a wide range of people, and my experience follows that as well. So as a coach, I coach basketball, I coach sports. As an educator, I teach a variety of courses. And so I think I would like to highlight that I do have quite a bit of experience with not only individuals, but with what I would like to do. And this is very different considering I am a political science major. So basketball and teaching different courses, high school courses that range in math, English, science, does really give me a lot of different experience as well.
Thank you. Had any other candidate wish to respond to Tanvir's initial question? No? All right. The next question then goes to Nikayla. In your candidate statement, you mention enhancing the mission of SUS for the good of all students. What is something you would like to see enhanced for students? Your 1 minute and 30 seconds starts now.
So I would like to see the voice of students be enhanced. Sometimes I feel that some students are hesitant to speak up, and there's a lot of varying issues that have been brought to a bunch of different members of the SUS community. And I would like to see there be more consistent transparency between SUS and students so there is kind of an open door policy for students to feel comfortable to come forward and speak their voice loudly.
Thank you. Did any two candidates wish to respond to that? No? All right, thank you. The next question will then go to Chance. In your candidate statement, you mentioned that this term you aim to improve campus facilities and create more opportunities in and off campus for students. What are some facility improvements or opportunities you want created?
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, yeah, for sure. There's lots of facility improvements that I believe can be implemented. One of the things I brought up in my last term was improving the seating arrangements in the libraries. I know it's a very important thing for students, especially since we're getting closer to the exam season. And I'm sure during the midterms, there was a big problem finding seating. There was some actions implemented last semester in terms of that. So there is, some facility changes being in place, but there are still many that I believe can be implemented more. Candidates mentioned earlier about food facilities and food trucks in the cafeteria. I do believe that's a facility improvement that can be made. And I've been talking to a lot of students and they agree that there needs to be plenty more food options on the campus. And in terms of in and off campus clubs, I also believe that there should be more engagement with off campus activities with clubs. I believe that a lot of clubs can improve themselves by going away more and going on trips. And that could definitely be an incentive for more students to join. And I just believe that needs to be more exposed in the campus and it needs to be more aware for students as well.
Thank you. Do any two other candidates have anything they would like to add to that? No? All right. The last question that we have will then go to Daria. In your candidate statement, you mention that you always try to connect with other students. In your opinion, what is the key to connecting with students and how will you bring their voices to board? Your 1 minute and 30 seconds starts now.
Thank you. Yeah, so I feel like the crucial part of connecting is really having that open mindset and going into the conversation with any person with this strong desire to learn. Because every person is so unique. Everyone has so many experiences in their life that in any communication, you learn something. You take away something. And I feel like that's the mindset I've adopted. And that's what helped me connect with a lot of international and domestic students on campus here. And that's, I feel, what made them feel comfortable enough to share their ideas and concerns with me. So that is a mindset I continue to foster. And that is definitely the approach I will continue taking to make sure that students feel comfortable sharing with me and that I can connect with more people as well throughout my work, throughout my volunteering experiences, and really get their voices out there. And because sometimes people need to share anonymously, sometimes they don't want to be the ones making the change, but they want to see the change. And I love to be the one taking their voices and putting them into actions.
Thank you. Do any two other candidates have anything they would like to add to that? No? Okay. So before we end things off for the day, I would like to mention that there were 5 other candidates for student representative at large: Balkaran Singh Gill, Simranpreet Kaur, Tanvi Malik, Prabcharan Mahal, and Jaskrat Singh Parmar. You can check out their candidate statements at ufvsas.ca/elections. And with that, our debate is complete. Thank you to everyone who came out, and a special thanks to everyone who worked hard to make this event happen. And thank you very much to our candidates for all coming up and answering the questions today. Our campaign period that we're in right now will continue until March 10th, and the voting period will begin March 11th through March 14th. So please remember to keep an eye out for any voter information coming into your email student inbox. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day.